A lot of good programs. Sometimes we have a week where everything sucks, and that is not this week. That starts tomorrow with Grumpy Cat, which Vinny is guaranteed will not be the worst segment on Raw.
That's right.
I can't wait till tomorrow. What do you think this cat's going to do, Vinny? Like, chase its tail?
The cat will do something new and something I have not seen 500 times already this year.
You don't know that. Maybe the cat's going to come out and have a bad match with the women.
I was going to say the cat's going to wrestle the Usos.
Maybe the cat will wrestle the Usos. Maybe the cat will do a long 15-minute promo at the beginning of the show.
Actually, that last one, you're probably right.
We'll see what happens tomorrow.
But it'll be a new person cutting a long, boring promo. It's something new. Why are we down on this?
Because it's a cat. Vinny, when you're so desperate for something new that you are lowering yourself to accepting a cat guest hosting Raw. Not even like Heathcliff or Garfield. It's the Grumpy Cat.
Yes.
A viral sensation. This show would be so much more exciting if Tiggy hosted the show. Like, there'd be a bunch of backstage segments where I threw a piece of paper into some strange place backstage, and she went and got it and brought it back. Trust me, that would be more exciting than the Grumpy Cat.
We shall see.
All right. Well, listen, we got Smackdown today, we got Lucha Underground, we got NXT, and we got Ring of Honor. And so clearly we have no time to wait. And 4 new songs here today. Man, it's going to be a packed show. Let's start with Smackdown, and then we'll go in just some random order.
Perfect. SmackDown opened with Chris Jericho coming out for a highlight reel. He brought out the Helmsleys. They went off about how this company needed a McMahon to be in charge. Jericho said, "It would not be that hard to run this place. You just ask the fans what you want, or what they want, and then you give it to them."
He'd be a terrible booker.
Apparently, it is much harder than that, because that's not what they do. So Jericho made fun of Steph. Hunter cut a promo on everyone. He threatened to wipe Jericho from history. Jericho sang the goodbye song, and that was it.
Yeah.
A complete waste of Chris Jericho.
Dude, if you listen to the interview that he did on Figure 4 Daily, he did not want to come back for the show for the exact same reason you just explained. What is the point of just randomly coming back after being gone for months to do a random segment on a random show? That's exactly what this was. He managed to get some of the people chanting, but it was dead crowd. This was a crowd where Vince came out and berated everybody for not having fun. Mm-hmm. And God knows why they weren't having fun. Man, this promo with Stephanie. I like her and all, but complete over-scripted nonsense. Just a bunch of fucking talking.
Yeah.
And then the interview turned sour. And
that is true.
I was amused when Hunter claimed that next time Jericho calls him and begs to come back, he might say no. Which was hilarious because Jericho was talking about how he didn't even want to go back and they were calling him, asking him to come back. So a great ironic line here by Mr. H.
There's some strange people.
I will say that the crowd did do a hell of a job singing the goodbye song. It was one thing that they actually were able to do in unison. But yes, a pointless segment.
Bray Wyatt squashed Sin Cara. Then he cut a promo about Dean Ambrose's childhood Christmases. How he always thought this would be the year Daddy showed up, and Daddy never did. Then Ambrose came out, and he was so angry that he stood in the ring while Bray Wyatt stood on the floor 10 feet away and kept talking.
Yeah, Dean was shaking and virtually crying in the ring.
Yeah, but he was not attacking.
Whoever was trying to win the bet on if they could make Dean Ambrose into a geek, you're winning.
You're winning. Yeah, you're doing great.
It wasn't hard. You make him cry, and you make him not run after the bad guy, and you put him in a storyline where how does Dean Ambrose not know that Bray Wyatt is just trying to fuck with him? Even the announcers know the game. The announcers are flat out saying this is nothing but mind games. Meanwhile, Dean Ambrose, the hero, is crying in the ring. Yeah. This sucks.
That's what I wrote. I wrote, this was fucking stupid. I hate this feud so bad.
And you're the biggest Dean Ambrose fan there is.
Well, besides Granny.
Well, no. You actually watch Dean Ambrose.
Fair enough.
She just wants the network to watch him, but then doesn't watch him.
You've got me there. New Day promo. I hope when these guys actually debut, they bring the choir of clapping women with them.
Sure, why not?
Just stand on the floor and clap all the time.
Adam Rose has got a full menagerie, and I don't even know why to this day. They have invested so much in this Adam Rose character that they're trying to bury 16 feet under. It's kind of crazy.
Well, speak of the devil, Goldust and Stardust versus Adam Rose and the Bunny. At least they had a reason to set this up, because I was bewildered. And they showed Bunny helping Rose pin Stardust on a show called Main Event.
Yeah. Which, by the way, we went back and watched that show and purposely did not watch that match.
So they had a match here. Bunny was on the apron the entire time until the hot tag. He did some jumping moves, of course. And then Rose demanded a tag, but Bunny ignored him. Bunny tried a top rope splash. Stardust got the knees up and pinned him with a downward spiral. So Gold and Stardust left. Adam Rose was sad. He kicked the Bunny in the gut, laid him out with a party foul. And you mentioned a while ago, the first time they started this, that Adam Rose has great heel potential. You know who has great heel potential is the Rosebuds. Because they were all sad and devastated when the Bunny got kicked. But then Adam called for the music, and suddenly they were all happy again.
Oh, yeah.
Time to dance. To hell with the Bunny. Woo!
And they did. All I got is, I mean, the only, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 9 words. One of them is the 4-letter word that Granny does not like. And the rest is simply an acknowledgement that heel Adam Rose is better than babyface Adam Rose. That is literally all I have to say about this segment. A waste of time.
Video game commercial which showed footage of Sting versus The Undertaker.
How about that?
This was the best thing in the show so far. Byron Saxton interviewed Dolph Ziggler backstage. Dolph came off like a broken, defeated, hopeless man.
It's just such melodrama. Like, these people have no idea what to do with baby faces.
No.
God, he's just out there moping.
Yeah.
And depressed. It's like,
they've lost all sight of what a hero is.
I'd love to live vicariously through this man sunk into a deep depression.
I can't top that. So he explained that he vowed to make it to Survivor Series, and maybe he might even win. So meanwhile, they're talking about how he was forced to defend his title on all these shows, and JBL just tore him a new one, saying Bruno Sammartino never cried about defending his title. He showed up and he won. JBL is 1,000% right.
Yep.
Dolph is a giant crybaby.
Great heroic character. Straight out of the Iliad, this Dolph Ziggler.
The Zigliad?
Yeah.
We had a Ryback hype video. To be fair, this was awesome. Just a 300-pound monster killing everyone in his path. They couldn't just leave it at that. They had to have Byron Saxton interview him.
Ever since that stupid song played talking about Ryback's mouth, I've been reminded. And I literally cannot stop looking at it now. It's ruined him for me. I had completely forgotten about it until someone reminded me, and now it's like you can't unsee it.
So they did one of those really, really stupid promos where the guy is holding the microphone and holding it out there, and Ryback is not facing him, he's facing the camera. His body's pointed towards the camera. So Ryback has to turn his head almost all the way around like an owl to talk to the guy. Completely unnatural and phony and stupid. And he called his opponent tonight, quote, that big, stupid dummy Kane. Ryback has been watching his Bret Hart tapes, and that's what he picked up.
Yeah.
So
this was a waste of time.
This is stupid.
Have I mentioned that yet, how much of a waste of time most of this show is? Except for the next match.
Dolph Ziggler versus Cesaro versus Tyson Kidd in a 3-way. JBL continued his rant, making fun of Dolph for whining, saying, you know, the Seahawks are world champions. They play football every week and don't complain. Fact. So this was it was a very good match. It got a lot of hype going in. Some people called it great. I thought it was good. I did not live up to the hype. But that being said, it is the kind of match where I think, why can't they just do this all the time? This is just a good, it's an athletic contest with obvious stakes on the line, the Intercontinental Championship. And I'm convinced by the end that victory in this match is a meaningful win over a worthy foe. It doesn't seem complicated.
If this company has not figured out, as of this week, the Tyson Kid is great and underutilized, then they are a boatload of fucking morons. I went back and I made us watch the Ziggler-Sami Zayn match on Main Event, which was...
Tyson-Sami
Zayn. Who did I say?
Ziggler,
yeah. Tyson and Sami Zayn on Main Event was a very good match, but the point of it was they did that match, and then an hour later he came out and he did this match, and then this very same week on NXT, he had yet another great match when he had the tag team match with him and Gabriel against Finn and Hideo Itami. So in the span of 1 week, he had 3 good to great matches on television. Mm-hmm. Get with the picture, you numbskulls.
Yeah. So, let's see. Cesaro got pinned. Dolph hit Cesaro with a zigzag, but Tyson stole the pin to eliminate him. And in hindsight, I have no idea why. Because, first of all, it's elimination rules anyway, so who cares who gets the pin? Second of all, if the idea is to get Dolph over, have Dolph get all the pins. So
well, clearly the idea is not to get Dolph over if you've been watching television.
I also like where they were talking about how Tyson, if he won here, might win his first major championship. And even pointed out he was the former tag team champion. So I guess the tag belts suck.
Well, they do.
Yeah. Dolph.
Let's be honest.
Dolph hit the zigzag and won. Hey, at least they win more than Dolph does.
That's true.
How they won here.
I thought this was a very good match. I was confused by some of the spots, such as why Ziggler had to do a tilt-a-whirl before a zigzag. He just wanted to do an extra spin, I guess. But a very, very creative 3-way match. A lot of really creative spots. It's very good. I wouldn't call it like an excellent match, but it was a really, really good match on SmackDown. And virtually in fact, looking at my notes here, this was the only worthwhile thing on this show. And it was almost worthwhile enough to make the entire show worthwhile. But it was fighting a losing battle against useless, pointless segments in front of an absolutely dead crowd. Which brings us to...
Yes, what a great segue. Layla versus Natalya.
Let me tell you something. I had heard that the crowd was dead in this match. I was unaware just exactly how dead they were. It was a crypt. The only thing I've heard even remotely as dead as the crowd in this match is a couple of the recent Impact tapings, which were performed in front of 250 people.
Yeah, I was going to bring up the ROH show, but again...
less than 800 people.
Yeah.
This was a show with thousands of people in the building, and every single last one of them was quiet. In a match with Layla, who, of all people on this show, should have been one that the folks in the UK cheered for. Mm-hmm. Oh, no.
The ultimate demonstration of this, Layla has Natalya in a head scissors, or body scissors, and the crowd is sitting there not caring. And Summer, who was at ringside in Layla's corner, turned to the crowd and asked, and I quote, "Doesn't anybody care?" Nope. Now, the funny thing was, if you didn't pay attention to that, the action was actually really good. Not that it matters, but whatever. So, Natalya dropped Summer with a slap. She threw the heels together, and she won with a sharpshooter.
I mean, this is really... I don't know if I can even blame WWE for this. I guess I can, actually. I'm going to blame them for this, even though maybe it's not entirely their fault. But it is their fault, so I'm just going to blame them. Listen, you made an announcement that the WWE Network was going to debut on a certain day. And then a week later, you were going to go tour the UK. So then, 15 minutes before it's going to debut, you announce it is now not debuting until further notice. And you piss every single one of them off, and then you go and tape television in the UK. What the hell do you expect? Now, there's a part of me that doesn't want to blame them because I'm sure something went wrong in the negotiations that saw this thing delayed. They didn't purposely try to screw with the people. But if you didn't have these negotiations signed, sealed, and delivered, Why did you announce it was going to debut on such and such a date? That's your fault. And so I have no sympathy for this company going to the UK and having a bunch of dead crowds that don't give a shit about WWE because they got screwed out of their network. That's WWE's fault. But yeah, this was embarrassing.
Dean Ambrose was cutting a promo backstage when Bray Wyatt appeared and laid him out with Sister Abigail into a wall. So Dean Ambrose is now a crybaby loser.
How many feuds with Bray Wyatt has it been now where everybody is expecting them to have great promos back and forth, and we have not gotten them? It was the same thing for Jericho. It's the same thing for Dean. Was there somebody before this, I might add?
I don't know.
This ain't working. I don't care about this feud at all.
I care about it significantly less than I would have 3 months ago.
Had they not done angles or spoken to each other?
I was thinking back when they had the Shield Wyatt's program, which was awesome. And here are these two guys now, and I just don't care. Main event was Ryback versus Kane.
I had started to write notes, but apparently I was so infuriated that all I wrote was B-O-R.
What do you think you... All right.
That's literally, it says here, Kane versus Ryback, B-O-R. That's my whole report.
Well, you're not wrong.
I mean, I can add plenty. This was boring. This had a shit finish.
That is definitely true.
It was a complete waste of time.
I thought I thought the match was going to be worse than it was. The finish was complete bullshit, and it was a complete waste of time. That is a fact. So, frankly, although at this point, the horrible finish to a SmackDown main event, it's almost getting charming.
It's like, no, it's not. I'm not there yet. I'm pissed off.
It's like an inside joke, and I'm in on it. It's a rib on all the fans. So, yeah, this is bullshit. And Kane hit Ryback with a chair and got DQ'd. Then Ryback got the chair and beat up Kane anyway. And then Ryback had a stare down with Triple H, who was the real top star.
If this is the first show you've listened to this weekend, I just want to briefly mention that we actually have something of a war in mixed martial arts now. Because Viacom, which is a multi-billion dollar company for all I know. I don't even know what their annual revenues are, but they're gigantic.
They're doing very well.
I'm sure they're a multi-billion dollar company. Well, they've bought Bellator, and they've decided that they want to go to war. And so we're actually having, this is going to be fun in mixed martial arts. UFC versus Bellator. There's actually, this is not just like, there's no longer just one. Now we've got two. I don't know what's going to happen, but we've got two big-time companies with a lot of money behind them that are going to go to war. Can't some media company buy a pro wrestling promotion and do the same thing and boot these people in the ass? I watched 4 shows tonight. And granted, NXT is a division of WWE. But this SmackDown was not only the most boring show that we watched by like a significant margin, but it wasn't even close. There was no show that we watched that was even close to SmackDown in terms of being boring and being a waste of time. Even like the Ring of Honor show, which is only an hour long, and at least they're building up to Final Battle. We know what the main events are on the show. They had a great main event. They featured Jay Lethal, who I'll talk about him in a second. But God, this SmackDown is so boring every week, and it's a pointless show. And I have a cat coming to Raw.
You are...
I'm sick of it.
Show where I have been for about 6 months.
I'm sick of it.
Let's stop watching it.
We can't do that.
Why not?
But we may at least bitch about it.
Will somebody quit?
Oh, Vince?
No, I mean, if we start reviewing the show, will you lose subscribers?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
It's impossible.
I hate to tell the real hardcores listening to this, but it's WWE, and then everything else is a distant second.
Well, I realize
of
that,
interest.
but...
So yeah, we got to talk about SmackDown and Raw.
Even among WWE hardcores, I would figure they wouldn't care about this anymore.
No,
no one could possibly care about the show.
There are millions of people that watch SmackDown every week.
The WWE in itself does not care about the show.
There's
why would their fans?
Millions of people that watch SmackDown every week. I don't know why. It is an absolute mystery to me, but they do. Let's play a song, and then we'll do Ring of Honor.
If you